This is one of my favorite tracks in the country, so it's pretty cool to be able to do this here. It's also just a great racetrack, like in general. Like this is a very historic, just classic American road circuit. So I'm glad the Truck Series is here. I think it's really, really cool. And yeah, I mean, I thankfully know the track like the back of my hand. So that's definitely a helpful thing because I have a lot to learn about these trucks on a road course. And there's a lot of really good drivers here, so it's tough to jump in any series nowadays and try to be competitive right out the gate. But road course ringers are in right now, it seems, after Shane Van Gisbergen in Chicago. So hopefully I can use that to my advantage.
And I guess another thing you could probably use to your advantage is being able to fill in for Simon Pagenaud last week. Unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah.
But kind of having a lay of the land already of the track, how much did that help you, and how much can you translate over from IndyCar to this, if anything? Well,
there's really nothing car-wise you can transfer over, but they've extended the curbs in some of the corners, which is different from last year here. So that's a little bit helpful to know what those curbs feel like and what they look like, and so that's helpful. And just the general condition of the track, like the track's in great condition, which is good. And when it's fresher in your mind, it always helps. So even though it's going to be vastly slower than what I was doing, you still had a feel for kind of what little places here had grip and what places didn't.
And what places do you see maybe struggling a little bit more, or seeing all these drivers struggle with a bit on the track?
I mean, for me, it's going to be about brakes and just the gearbox. I mean, I've driven plenty of H-pattern stuff before. I've raced an Xfinity car at a road course, so kind of familiar with it, but for us open wheel guys, being able to see all of our tires and when we're getting front lock up and just small things like that, it's just going to be about efficiently using the brakes and efficiently carrying the right amount of speed and not overdriving. Like for us, it's overdriving is going to be so easy because we're so used to going so much faster.
Yeah. And also, like, not a stranger to trucks either. Different faces in the garage this time.
Yeah.
So how do you manage, racing with some of the younger drivers, racing with respect? Is that something that's on your mind today?
Well, I mean, I watch this series every weekend. So, I keep in touch with this team all the time. Al Niece calls me every month of May before the Indy 500. I talk to him ever since we got to all race together in 2020 with Pastrana here at Vegas. So it was, I pay attention to every racing series, and I love watching it. So. Know there's a lot of quick people here, but know there's been a lot of calamity as well and some craziness. So, you always just hope to avoid that because realistically, they don't know me. I mean, I'm a spectator for them, so I watch and see who does this, that, or whatever. And so hopefully there's a good amount of respect there. I mean, I plan on, racing with respect. I got Marco Andretti out there too, so I know he's a good racer. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, obviously, how it plays out.
And then finally, racing this race obviously, but do you have plans for future truck, Xfinity, maybe IndyCar, any future plans there?
I actually have no idea what I'm doing the rest of the year, so this is kind of it. I mean, I would love for this to go well. I would love to do more races, but it's obviously down to all the financial partners that help out. I can't just pick and choose what races I want to do, sadly. But I would do anything. I would love to race an Xfinity car again. I would love to race a truck again. I would love to race a Cup car again, and also IndyCar. So I'm definitely not closing any doors. But this is just nice to be able to keep busy, and I'll go to Toronto next weekend for the IndyCar race anyway to stay there, to stay active, because that obviously paid off last weekend. And then might do more nitrocross stuff too with Travis Pastrana. So there's a lot of different stuff that's going on. You just always have to stay ready for whatever.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask,
no problem.
Have you and Marco talked about who's going to be the better finishing IndyCar driver yet?
Marco and I actually just saw each other yesterday at the Chevy simulator, so it was fun to see that he was doing it. I got a text from him like the day before they announced it, just a couple days ago, and he's like, "So are we doing dinner Friday night?" I was like, "I'm racing trucks." He's like, "Yeah, me too." I'm like, "All right, well that's cool." So yeah, I think it's awesome that Marco's doing it. I love that he's just doing stuff that he can do now that he's got not a full schedule of IndyCar stuff. But it'll be fun to see who can beat each other. It's his first truck race. It's my first truck race at a road course. So we don't have really a ton of experience to go off of, but it'll be fun.